the Minecraft movie is actually real. And by the time you're watching this, it's probably out in the wild right now. But let's be honest, video game movies have a pretty terrible track record. For every success, there are a dozen of disasters. So today, we're diving into the world of video game adaptations and to figure out why so many fail, which ones actually work, and whether this Minecraft movie is another diamond or just more dirt. What's up, guys? It's me, Louis. I have two problems. I play too many games and I overthink everything. So now I'm making it your problem too. I'm diving into weird gaming topics, challenging myself in ways that make me question my life choices and testing things out firsthand. So you don't have to. So let's break it down and figure out why Hollywood just can't seem to get this right. One of the few first major movie, I'm not even sure, I think even the first ever, Super Mario Bros. In '93. There's no way it's the first one. Hollywood saw games as just like kids stuff, you know, and didn't respect the source material. I mean, you can clearly see in the movie. It wasn't like the best. I liked it, funny enough, but also like a little bit dramatized by it. I was really young when I saw it, so I'm not sure about that. But the trend of bad adaptations keeps going. Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and on and on. Oh man, there is so many that at this point people never expect a lot when there is actually a movie coming out about a game. So they're like, yeah, it's gonna be bad anyway. Which is not the case for everyone, by the way. There are some movies that are actually good. Games aren't movies, okay? We have to make this clear from the beginning. Because the one thing that is a big difference is games are interactive. Movies are just like it there. They're kind of passive, okay? You enjoy them by probably doing nothing, while on games you actually have to do stuff. A game's story works because you are the one playing it. So removing that interaction, there is something big not there anymore. Also, ignoring the source material. Hollywood often rewrites the story and characters. There's plenty of them and plenty of people complain about it. But why is it still happening? They have their own ideas, they have their own ways. And an example is like Max Payne. It was like in 2008. The game was dark, gritty, and full of Norse-style storytelling. The movie, yeah, the movie was the movie, I guess. So there's almost no fan service. I mean, there's so many little things in games that people imagined and then remembered and then they removed it in the movies. And this is like a big deal for so many gamers. And we all know gamers. We hang on to our games like big time. So if they remove that one little thing that you remember, that's a big deal. And oftentimes also it just feels like it's a bad writing overall and it just feels rushed and cheap. Plus, on top of all that, we for sure know that some of them that write the scripts do not play the games. So one big thing that I personally think might be a problem or a way to explain what's really going on is actually really simple. This is now the explanation I have. Do you guys like stand-up comedy? Some of you do, some of you don't. I personally love it, okay? But what did I do not like? It's like those sketches. So now imagine this. Someone is on stage and explaining a joke. It's funny. But why is it funny? It's mostly because how he says it, how he explains it. But one big role is how we imagine it happening. We fill the blanks, how we experience funny stuff and make it even more funny. That's why stand-up comedy functions. That's why so many comedians are like big and you can fill stadiums with that. To be honest, not all of them are funny, clearly, but it works. It's a simple storytelling that catches you want to know what's going on, and you fill out the blanks. And now think about a sketch. And I never was a fan of sketches. The exact same story, the exact same joke explained in a sketch. So it's played out, theatrical way, and it's not funny anymore. And now, maybe you already get it, that's the exact same thing with games and movies. You can't control a movie. A movie is how it is. So either you like it or not. And in most cases, because you played the game you like, it doesn't feel the right way. So it's not the same joke. So yes, again, there are really good examples of really good adaptations. But in the most cases, as a fan of movies, as a fan of games, I really have a hard time liking movies or shows that are like gaming related, because I experienced the game already. I played it already. I was there already, and it's so hard for me to understand it. What is really wrong? What is really good? And the Minecraft movie right now, it's the exact perfect example how actually looks good. It actually might be funny, but the character seemed out of place. Jack as Steve just doesn't feel right to me. So that's what happens with video game movies. The moment they try to show us a world we've already played, in our heads, it never quite matches what we imagine. I remember watching Detective Pikachu. I'm not the biggest Pokemon fan. I grew up with the first 151s and that's it. After that I was gone. Now I'm kind of getting back into the cards again and collecting cards, but that's it. Detective Pikachu was amazing. They looked great, felt alright, and was okay. Sonic the Hedgehog. I grew up with a Sega, by the way. It's sad, I know. And Sonic was amazing. And the new Mortal Kombat, was surprised how actually okay it was. Maybe the original Mortal Kombat movie was like too bad that I was like, nah, I'm out of this. But it's actually okay. As a fan of Mortal Kombat, I actually liked it. It was okay. Arcane show, okay, the Arcane series from League of Legends. Season 1 was amazing. It actually managed to catch people that are not even in this world of gaming. It managed to do something that was like amazing. But this is also an interesting case because Arcane the show goes deeper into the characters. And in League of Legends, you don't go too deep into the stories or into the lore. You literally go in and play the game. Probably the most toxic game ever made, by the way. And League is just like a competitive game that people do not care about the lore, which they have now the chance to expand the lore as much as they want. Arcane show was a perfect example that we didn't know that much about the lore, and they showed it to us in an amazing way. Yes, I'm actually talking about live action movies, and Arcane is animated, blah blah blah, but it just shows how good it can be. Speaking of live action and anime, I mean, One Piece was the same. I was surprised how many people actually like the live action version, and I have to watch it. I have to watch it. Fallout, same. Nice season. Haven't watched it yet, and I will, because it looked so nice. And people were actually happy about it. So what did they write? They respected the actual source material. The case of the Arcane show as an example, when you see the characters and you play them before, you see them and you know them. And there are like in other situations there, and not in a fighting situation or in a battle situation, you still know who is who. This is really important. Good casting. Plenty are fun and engaging without taking yourselves too seriously. So it's like sometimes you don't trying to be too much. It's like this typical Hollywood. Yes, they remove a lot, but also add into it to make a movie like really serious. But in games and in some lores, you don't have to be too serious. So video game movies don't have to be bad, and too often they miss what it makes to be special. And the fun thing is they don't have to do much. They don't have to add into it much, okay? So it's really easy to look what they did with other movies that actually worked and what didn't work. But also at the same time, we as viewers and as gamers, we might have to lower our expectations, since, at least what I think, we are also the problem why some movies are just not good enough, because they will never be. Everyone has their favorite game in their minds and their imagination about it. So there will never be a perfect movie about it. Never. You will always find people that hate it or love it, which by the way is just typical for the internet, I guess, so we will never get rid of that. So it is what it is. Last of Us is also a good example. It worked out. It is clean, it is smooth, and it just works out. So, in other words, we have to watch them anyway, and we all know we are losers from the internet. We will watch them anyway. Let me know in the comments what you think. Leave a like, leave a subscribe. Tell me, which video game adaptation movie did you like? Did you like that everybody else was hating on it? There's plenty to choose from, okay? Don't be ashamed. Just let the people know which one you like that everybody hated. Do it. Till next time. I got problems with